Hare Krishna, welcome to my The Migratory Monk channel. In this episode, I am going to tell you something very special and important. I would like to inform you the authentic Vedic knowledge regarding the birth of Lord Rama. Please listen carefully because you cannot get this type of informations anywhere in this world. Now come to the subject. Both Rama and Krishna are held in the highest reverence in India and by Indians all over the world. They are considered as divine incarnations. Both are regarded as the most ideal human beings. That is testified by the epithet Maryada Purushottam, applied to both. Both symbolizes two very ancient stages of Indian civilization. They are so ancient that we seem to have lost track of their eras. As Vedic Sanātani, I know personally that our Vedic history, the Puranas or Ramayana or Mahabharata, are authentic world history. But for the people, those people who are not acquainted with Vedic spiritual science or history, for them it is very difficult to understand when Lord Rama appeared or Krishna appeared, whether Lord Rama is actually existed or not. This question always arises in their mind. The remote antiquity of their times do not in the least signify that they lived in less civilized communities than our own. In fact, the lofty thought about civic duties, engineering feats, armaments, quality of raiment, and complicated astronomical data contained in the two epics Ramayana and Mahabharata, dealing with the lifetimes of Rama and Krishna, ought to convince us in all humility that compared to their ages, our achievements appear puerile, very insignificant. It is sometimes argued that the Ramayana and Mahabharata no doubt contain very lofty and noble thought, the height of which has hardly been equaled in any other age. But as for material achievement, it is said that description found in those epics are pure fiction and ought not to be believed in. This argument, in fact, betrays our own ignorance of human psychology. Human community progress is never lopsided. That is to say, communities which can reach the summit of metaphysical and civic concepts would never lag behind in mechanical inventions, industry, interstellar travel, and medical competence. Because it is, after all, the same human mind which toys with metaphysical concepts that runs wild in other directions, like inventing means of temporal comfort and speed. Our misplaced belief that we in the 20th century have achieved heights of material inventions never before reached is rooted in an unwarranted assumption. We have been believing that human progress is a straight track starting from the caveman and culminating in the present sophisticated stage. This belief is unwarranted. If we look around, we will find that cosmic affairs run along ellipses and not straight lines. The Earth and other stellar bodies are all orbs. They all move in elliptical orbits in a circular way. Magnetic and electric fields too are elliptical. So applying the same law to human civilizations, we would find that they too rise and fall in an unending cycle. At each stage, they reach great heights and then disappear. The same could be the case with the civilization described in Ramayana and Mahabharata. If this is clearly understood, then there should be no difficulty in visualizing that the two Indian epics describe two real ancient civilizations and the achievements they claim are no myths invented by imaginative authors. They are actual histories of this world or of this planet. Since the Vedic times and the times of Ramayana and the Mahabharata represent three distinct and important stages, In Indian history, it is a pity that no sympathetic and serious attempts have been made to fix their chronology. This is a basic discrepancy in current text of Indian history. In fact, our histories just brush past those three stages, almost dubbing them as myths, fantasies, and fables. The reason for this academic intransigency is that India has been ruled by aliens for over 1,000 years. Of these, the first 800 years under Muslim rule were of complete chaos and deep seated hatred between the rulers and the ruled. During British domination for the next 200 years, Western scholars' immature medieval concepts about time and space, the origin of cosmos, and the appearance of life on earth were high-handedly imposed and implanted in all academic texts and reference books. We can understand they normally follow the Darwin theories. That our ancestors were monkeys. So we can understand their psychology. So they made us believe that till very lately we were all monkeys. After some years, when we learned to walk on our hind legs and use the forelegs for hands through the caveman stage and the Stone Age, lo and behold, Jesus Christ appeared suddenly on the stage, and since then humanity rests to its present position of great material progress. This is their thinking. Curiously enough, Western physical scientists have long shared their earlier primitive notions about the origin of the cosmos and the human race. They now talk about the earth and life on it in billions of years, as did the ancient Indians. Indians in Bharatiyas. Yet, their own social scientists and historians have failed to keep pace. The latter doggedly cling to their untenable, obsolete, anachronistic notions. Modern science should now help us to realize that the ancient Indian concept of time and cosmic origin, measured in the terms of yugas, mahayugas, and manvantvaras, represents an omniscience and comprehension which the modern man has not been able to equal. That is described in all our scriptures, Vedic authentic scriptures or Puranas or Srimad Bhagavatam, like this. The realization should prepare us psychologically to study the Ramayana and Mahabharata civilizations as very ancient communities. If therefore internal and external evidence indicates that Rama and Krishna lived thousands or even hundreds of thousands years age, one need not suffer from shock as Western scholars and their local disciples are prone to. At least there is no harm in evaluating the traditional evidence which is mentioned in our Puranas, particularly in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana and Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as the king of all Puranas, Grantha Raj, Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the reason it is called Grantha Raj, the king of all scriptures, all Puranas. The mere fact that it indicates Rama and Krishna to be of great antiquity should not put us off, because we have already explained earlier that human civilization have risen and fallen in an unending cycle. Lord Rama is regarded as the seventh incarnation. The time of his birth is known with certainty. He was born at the stroke of 12 noon. The day of his birth too is known for certain. He was born on the 9th day of the bright half of the Indian month Chaitra, corresponding to the end of March and beginning of April. From our childhood, I have personally been observing this Ram Navami in temples and mathas. We normally observe Ram Navami in April. Everybody knows, all the Hindus, those who are little bit aware of their tradition and culture, they know the Ram Navami. So it is not a big deal for us. The only uncertainty is about the year in which he was born. That could be calculated and tallied with different available data. According to the ancient Indian tradition, the present era is the Kali Yuga. Hindu astronomy has timed its beginning as from 2:27:30 PM, 2:27:30 में ये कलियुग शुरू हुआ था. कब? 18 फरवरी 3102 BC. Please remember it. 3102 BC, 18th February 18 February and 2:27 the moment when 7 planets were in conjunction in Aries. Bailly, the French astronomer, has recorded his amazement at the uncanny calculation of Hindu astronomy. Because the Hindu astronomy is so perfect, so accurate, that the Western scholars, they become puzzled, amazed. They cannot think of how this happens, how they calculate, particularly the Bharatiyas. Kali era was preceded by Dwapara, Treta, Krita Yuga. Krita means Satya Yuga. In that order, from Krita to Kali, the duration of the 4 yugas has been calculated to be 4,800 years, 3,600 years, Dwapara 2,400 years and Kali 1,200 divine years, दिव्य युग. दिव्य युग मीन्स डिवाइन ईयर थोड़ा कैलकुलेशन अलग होता है. हमारा यहाँ 1 साल देवताओं का 1 दिन होता है, लेकिन अगर नॉर्मली हम देखा जाए इन ए जनरल कैलकुलेशन द रेशियो इज 4:3:1. द डिवाइन ईयर्स टर्न इनटू ह्यूमन ईयर्स अमाउंट रेस्पेक्टिवली टू 7,28,000 दैट इज सत्ययुग, 12,96,000 that is Treta Yuga, and 8,64,000 Dwapara Yuga, and 4,32,000 is Kali Yuga, the duration of Kali Yuga. Of the total 4,32,000 year span of the current Kali era, only 5,096 years have elapsed. These years, when added to the 8,64,000 years of the intervening Dwapara era, give us the figure 8,96,096. That many years have passed since the end of the Treta era in which Lord Rama lived. Please remember it. When Lord Rama lived, 8,96,096 year before BC. A 12th part of the beginning and end of each era is regarded as forming the transition period, Sandhya Kal. To our latest figure, we therefore add 1,38,000 years of the transition period. Since Sri Rama is said to have lived towards the end of Treta era, it means that the epic Ramayana deals with the life of a society existing about a million years ago, approximately 1 million years ago. The fauna described in the Ramayana includes pachyderms with 4 tusks. Elephants with only 2 tusks were also not unknown. The 4 tuskers are especially mentioned among animals found in Ravana's capital Lanka. Even if I will also describe about this topic, about this subject, that when Puru, the Porus and Alexander, they fought with each other, that times there are many pachyderms were in the army of Porus, the Puru Maharaj. पुरु महाराज की जो मिलिट्री थी उसमें 4 टक्स वाले 4 दांत वाले हाथी कई सारे थे, हजारों संख्या में थे. ये तो वो जो युद्ध हुआ था कब हुआ था? 323 BC में हुआ था, और रामायण तो मिलियन ईयर्स बिफोर हुआ था. तो ये जो पैचिड्रम्स है, मतलब हाथी, एलिफेंट्स विथ 4 टस्क्स इज नॉट ए abnormal thing. Please understand this. According to antiquarians, elephants with 4 tusks became extinct about 1 million years ago. This is just a specimen of the kind of scientific evidence which awards to be properly evaluated. As a tally, we may also use the traditionally handed down horoscope of Sri Ram. Except for the positions of the 2 nodes of the moon, namely Rahu and Ketu, the position of the other celestial bodies has been recorded in sage Valmiki's Ramayana itself. It could be that it was not the practice then to place the nodes. Sri Rama's horoscopes indisputably accepted and adopted throughout India, throughout Bharat for ages it is particularly written in the page of Dr. P.N. Oak's book, page number 205. I particularly am mentioning the name of P.N. Oak because I personally feel that the way Dr. P.N. Oak has understand has understood the history of our Vedic civilization is unique. Nobody else, I think, according to my knowledge, nobody else can compete with him as far as the Vedic history is concerned. The way he has understood is very significant and unbelievable, because he had a spiritual background. He was also very highly knowledgeable in Vedic spiritual science. That is the reason he understood the Vedic history very clearly and perfectly. Even those who scoff at interpretative astrology should have no quarrel with its mathematical aspect, namely astronomy, just as the relatively fixed position of the stars helps navigators locate their position in the vast, wildering, featureless expanse of the ocean. Similarly, a planetary chart helps us pinpoints an event in the vast, wildering, illimitable expanse of time. Astronomers and mathematicians would do well to find out how many years the above planetary combination occurred. If it did occur about 1,000,000 years back, and if other indications in and outside the Ramayana also point to the same conclusion, we shall have dated a very important landmark in the Bharatiya civilization, Vedic civilization. It could be that the same planetary combination recurs at intervals of hundreds of thousands of years. Even then, we could take all those dates and try to match them with the other corroborating evidence to find out which of them should have been Sri Rama's birth date. Anybody who knows even the rudiments of astrology should be able to notice that the particulars of Rama's life are borne out by the planetary position in his birth chart. For instance, when a number of planets are exalted and most of the remaining are in their own houses, they indicate an irresistible personal magnetism which makes almost all coloration kneel and prostrate before him. Moon in its own house and Jupiter exalted being posited together in the ascendant. Cancer signify a personality fervently dedicated to truth, wedded to stern duty, but forgiving and just at the same time. Mars in Capricorn in the 7th house indicates separation and occasional rebukes from the spouse, which can very easily noticed in the life of Lord Sri Ram and what happened between
Lord Ram and Mother Sita. I don't want to expand this subject anymore. Thank you very much. We leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching this video. Jai Sri Ram.